far away from the coast of Chile in this area of the Pacific Ocean. Amid the vastness of the ocean, within this emptiness, there is an island, which is famously called Easter Island. But it is not famous for its name or being alone in the vastness of the ocean. Rather, it is famous for the giant statues that are found here. Who have built these giant statues found in this remote island in the Pacific Ocean? Were they aliens or humans like us? Viewers, it was the year 1722, i.e. 300 years ago, when a European explorer, Jacob Roggeveen, mistakenly reached this island. He saw many statues standing with its back towards the sea. The statues look like giants which were meticulously carved out of stone. Jacob was awestruck seeing all this, and then he further explored the island. He found that the island is filled with hundreds of statues. Some are standing and some are laying on the ground. The day when this explorer landed on this island was an Easter Sunday. That's how Easter Island got its name. At the time, a very few people used to live on this island, and they used to call it Rapa Nui. Even those people have no idea who and when these statues were built. And since then it has been explored by a lot of archaeologists and experts. Many people came here just to see this mysterious island, and many wanted to unveil the secret. With 300 years of effort, archaeologists now have gathered evidence. Which has brought us closer to solving this mystery. Easter Island is so remote that the neighboring Pecan Island is 2,075 kilometers away. But it is uninhabited. And the island with a population of 500 people is 2,600 kilometers away, known by the name Mangariva Island. Easter Island comes in the territory of Chile. And it is 3,512 kilometers away from the coast of Chile. At present, aircraft is the only way to reach this island. It takes around 5 hours to reach Easter Islands from Chile. Just like a normal-sized city, this island has thousands of giant statues. And these statues are called Moai. Many of the statues have eyes and others don't. Whereas long nose, sharp chin, flat head and long faces gave them a unique identity. According to an estimate, the statues were built in the 13th century, i.e. 700 years ago. A lot of statues are standing proudly on the island's border, and for many of them only their faces are visible. But during an excavation in 2012, a surprising fact was discovered. It was found that these statues have their whole body which was buried inside the ground. Among them, the tallest statue's height is 33 feet. That is, its height is similar to a passenger bus, whereas its weight is 90,000 kilograms. To even move it, it might requires a strength of 500 people, let alone lifting it. The surprising thing experts found during research here is that they found an incomplete statue. After completion, it will weigh around 300 ton, making the statue by carving the stone and then carry it to the different location in the island. Is a task which seemed impossible for humans. Therefore, for many years, it has been speculated that aliens did it. But with modern research, this theory was completely rejected. Scientists and archaeologists have found many evidence that suggest that these statues were built from the volcanic ash stone found on this island. That means these statues were built on this island itself. As an experiment when experts tried to carve out just the eyes. It took 3 days to complete this work. This work was done using a special tool which was used in ancient times to carve rocks. According to experts, a team of 12 laborers might took a year to carve a full-size statue. Seeing the incomplete statues, it was assumed that the carving work was done on the big pieces of rocks which were laying there. When they completed the carving of the upper portion, they used to cut it off from the rest of the stone. Although researchers solved the mystery behind the carving, understand how these giant statues were brought from the volcanic site to different locations that are many kilometers away. Because one giant statue weighs about 14 elephants. Even at present time, without machines, it seems impossible to do. To find out, many fallen statues were inspected. And there was one common thing among all these fallen statues. Statues which were found fallen on any slope had their faces on the ground. But statues fallen with their back to the ground were found near elevation of ascent. By seeing this, it's very clear that while they were being transported, they were in the standing position. And during the transport they fell and broke. Experts believe that these statues were balanced using the ropes. And slowly they were made to walk. Yes, statues were made to walk to reach different locations of the island. To prove this point, a concrete statue was built. And it was balanced by tying 3 ropes on different sides. And when the statue was pulled and tilted at a specific angle 6, then amazingly the statue started moving forward. In this way the statue was moved to a distance of 50 feet. And this proved that with this technique the residents of Easter Island used to move these statues. But there was one mystery still remaining to be solved. Who are these people who build thousands of statues? And what happened here that made them to leave the statues incomplete? A study claimed that once 17,500 people used to live in Rapa Nui or Easter Island. They were Polynesian, who came here in 300 AD, i.e. 1,700 years ago. Astonishingly, at that time the entire island looked different. There used to be a dense forest. And many pieces of evidence were found supporting this claim. 0.25 different pollen evidence has been found in Easter Islands, in which the highest amount was of palm trees. What happened to that dense forest? Researchers believe that deforestation was done on a large scale here. It is believed that these palm trees were of no use for these people, because they were farmers. They required a land where they could do agriculture, and where they could easily move the statues. And that was the reason they cut the forest with their own hands. Due to the large-scale deforestation, the entire ecosystem becomes disturbed, but the effects presented itself gradually like slow poison. And the same thing happened here also. Initially, they couldn't feel anything. But gradually the soil became infertile. Because of this there was scarcity of food for islanders. And at the end they started attacking each other. Many skeletons and bones were found in the island that contains evidence of injury. This suggests that a civil war broke out here and mostly women were targeted. Due to the lower number of female population in Easter Islands, gradually the population got diminished. And at last, the people who were left here migrated from this place. Today this island is part of UNESCO World Heritage. Seeing these statues, it is hard to believe that they were built by humans. Were these statues built for religious purposes, or do they have any other purpose? Different researchers have